So I once again welcome you all to our Creator Tech Connect series for the month of April. So, in this particular month, we are focusing on the feature enhancement and as well as the new release feature. Right. So for the today's session, we are going to focus on the feature enhancement part, and also we have splitted the session into two. So in today's session, we will be focusing on the feature enhancement, and in tomorrow's session, we will be focusing on the new release feature updates. Right. So let's get started with our feature enhancement. So let's start exploring what are all the different enhancements that has been made to the existing feature. Right. And before we get started, I would like to introduce myself. So I'm Niveta and I'll be the trainer for the session. And also we have few housekeeping rules that needs to be followed throughout the session. So all the attendees will be on mute. If you guys have any questions in between the session, you can use the questions tab to post all of your queries so that our co-trainer will be answering your queries. Right. And the recording of this particular session will be sent to all the attendees post the session, which means if you have registered to this particular session, if you have attended this particular session, you will be receiving the recording of this session. Right. And also if you guys would want to rewatch the previous session, my co-trainer will be sharing the course link for the learning table series and as well as the Creator Tech Connect series. So if you guys are interested to rewatch the previous session, you can access the URL and you can register for the course and you can start watching all of our previous session. Right. And also we will be conducting few polls and survey during and after the session, so we would request each and every one of you to actively participate in those polls and survey. Right. So let's get started, and before we get started, I would like to turn off my video for the better screen visibility. So just give me a second, I'll quickly turn off the video. So let's understand the agenda for our today's session. So we will start our session with an customization which has been done for the report data import. Right. So when you go to the report, you will find a export option where you can export the data from the report. Right. So we have brought in few customizations within the data export feature. So that is something we will be understanding in today's session. And then followed by that, we will be understanding the expandable RTF and multi-line field, which is rich text field and the multi-line field. So we have made few enhancements with these two fields. So that is something we will be understanding. And followed by that, we will be understanding the chart element in the page component. So we have brought in few customizations within the chart element. So that is something we'll be exploring in today's session. And also we will be exploring the app theme colors in pages. So which is nothing but you will be choosing a particular app theme to your application, right? So we will understand how that app theme color can be applied to your page elements. Right. So that is something we'll be understanding. And followed by that, we will also be understanding something called the app menu builder. So this is another enhancement that we have made for the app menu builder. So where you can go ahead and customize your menu based on your requirement. And then we will be understanding the custom API enhancement. Right. So I hope many of you already know that we have the custom API, right? So we have brought in few of the customizations within the custom API. Right. And followed by that, we will also be understanding another enhancement, which is the workflows for integration form. So previously we do not had any option to perform any automations inside the integration forms. So we have brought in a new enhancement where you can perform the workflows within the integration form. So that is something you'll be understanding. So followed by each and every of these topics, we will be delving into the live demonstration where we will be exploring all of this enhancements. Right. And also at the end, I'll also be giving the key pointers. So for each and every set of features, there are a few key pointers that we need to keep in mind when we are using these features. Right. So this is pretty much about the agenda for our today's session, and I hope this is pretty much clear to everyone. Now let's move on to our first topic for the day, which is report data export customization. I hope many of you already know that we have this Excel SX file format, right? So we have made few enhancement within this particular format, where whenever you are trying to export your subform data, you can export the data in three different formats. One is as single column with a delimiter, or as separate column in the same sheet, or as a individual column in a new sheet, right? So these are the three different ways where you can export your subform data. And then we have the composite field. So for example, name and address are the composite field, right? So those composite field can be exported as a separate column or as a single column, right? So these are the enhancements that has been made within the Excel SX file format, right? So let me take you to the live demonstration and I'll show you how exactly this will work, right? So yeah. So I'll just go to the application. So this is the application that I've built for today's use case, which is the order management system. So I'll just open this application. And within my application over here, let me go to the orders. So I have dashboards and different set of forms and reports, like the order form, order items form, order date management, order statuses. So these are the several forms that I have within the application, along with a pretty dashboard, right? Now let me go to the orders form. So within my orders form, I have the customer name as the name field, which is again a composite field, and along with that I also have the product details as a subform, right? So with these two different fields, I'm going to explore the data export option, right? So for this, I'll go to the report. All orders is my report. So currently I have three data within the form, right? So now if I just click on this more option, by just clicking on this three dots, I'll get to see the export option over here. When I click on the export, it will show me the list of export format: Excel SX, HTML, XML, JSON, PDF, CSV, and even the TSV, right? So now let me choose the Excel SX. As soon as I choose them, I'll be asked to, I mean, if you would like to rename the file name, you can do that, or it will, by default it will take your report name as the file name, and export as. Even here you can change the export type whenever it is required. As of now, I'll just go with the Excel SX and select columns. So whatever the columns that you would like to export, you can just select them, or if any particular column is not required, you can just uncheck that particular field. That will not be exported, right? And over here, if you could notice, in the customer name, since the customer name is a composite field, you could see a column preference, right? So here is where you will be defining whether you would like to export the data in a single column, or you would like to export the data as in a separate column, right? So when I talk about the composite field can have more than one. I mean, it can have more than one field, right? It can have four fields, three fields. It can have many number of fields. So in order, if I would like to split them, or if I would like to make them show within a single column, I can go with the single column option. Whereas if I would like to see those data in a separate column, I have the separate column option. On clicking of this, all these subfield will be listed in a separate columns, right? So now here you could see in the subfield, I have the prefix and even the suffix, first name and last name, right? So whichever field is required, you can just select those field. Whichever is not required, again you can uncheck the particular field. So now, so right now I'll just uncheck the prefix and as well as the suffix, and I'll give done. Right. So this is about the composite field export data customization. Now, if I scroll down, I'll also have the product details subform. Right. So let us check what are all the customization that we have brought in for the subform data export. So by just clicking on this column preference, I'll get to see three different options. One is either I can see all the data in a single column, or I can choose or I can choose to view the data in a separate column, or I can view the entire data in a new sheet. So these are the three different options where you can export your subform data alone, right? So right now I'll just choose the new sheet and I'll give done. So now since after giving the column preference, you can just click on the export, and before clicking on the export you could see the required password to open. In case if you would like to add, or if you would like to, if you'd like to create a password to open the file, you can just check this box and it will ask you to set up the password, right? So right now I'm not gonna use any passwords. I'll just click on the export. So the data will be exported. I will quickly open this. So this is the sheet. So this is the file that we have exported along with the IDs, the order ID, customer first name. So since we have splitted the columns, we have just choose the separate columns. The first name and last name are splitted into two different columns. Along with the order date, the status, and the rest of the fields are the normal fields, right? Now, within the orders form, we had the product details as the subform. So here you could see a separate sheet is created under the name product details, along with the different sort of informations like the product name, the subform link ID, and even the parent ID, right? So this is how exactly you will be exporting your composite field data as a single or a separate column, or you can export the subform data as a new sheet or in a separate column, or as in a single column, right? So this is one customization that we have brought in when you are trying to export the data. And apart from this, you can also export you can also export the composite field. If let's say you have the composite field and you have created the report in a different reports, like you have chosen the different types of reports. Even if you have chosen the different types of reports, you can go ahead and choose any of the file formats for the composite field alone. So if you go here, you could see different formats, right? So for the composite field alone, when you're trying to export, you can go ahead and export them, and that particular the single column and the separate column option will be available to these many export. Whereas talking about the subform data export, that is only possible within the Excel SX, right? So this is about one sort of the enhancement that I would like to show in today's session. And let's talk about the key pointers for this particular customization. So as I mentioned, for the subform field export, this is going to apply to all report types that are exported in the Excel SX format. So whatever the report type can be, and in whichever if you have the subform field to that particular form, and you can export the data only in the Excel SX format, right? Only in that format you can go ahead and do the customizations. Whereas talking about the composite field export, this will applies to all report types exported in CSV, JSON, TSV, Excel SX, and XML formats, right? So this is something that I would like to highlight over here. So this is all about understanding the report data export enhancement, right? Now moving on to the next topic, we have the expandable multi-line fields and rich text fields in reports. So we have brought in a new a new property called fold content, which will help you to preview the content with read more or read less toggles for the better readability in your reports. So if you could see in this representation, you could see that when you go to the report, if you have a text of line which exceeds more than 255 characters, this will show, if you have enabled this fold content property, it will show this particular toggle, which is show less or show more option, right? So let us go and check how we can enable this fold content property, right? So for this, again, I'll take you to the application, and within my application I have the order status. So I'll quickly go to the edit mode, and I'll just add a rich text, right? So let me add a rich text over here. and I'll say order description. Now I'll just add a text over here. Let's say I'm just copying this particular text, and I'll go back here and I'll add them over here, and I'll click on the submit. Right. So now again, if I go to the all order status, I go to the edit mode, and into your edit mode of the report, if you just configure, I'll just add the order description field, and now I'll take you to the live mode. So over here, you could see, since we have used the rich text to add the data, you could see here the data is displaying in, let me change the view to the list. Yeah. So you could see the data over here with a lengthy text, right? So in order to avoid this particular, and in order to give a better visuality inside your report, we have brought in this fold content property. In order to enable that, I'll just go to the edit mode. So this is my rich text field. Now over here, on clicking off this rich text field, you could see under the display option, you will have the fold content property. By just enabling this particular option, I'll reload this in the live mode. It's getting loaded. I'll enable it now. So this is save. Now if I go and refresh, over here you could see the data is showing, we have a toggle button showing show more, right? When I click on the show more, I'll get to see all the text. Whereas when I click on the show less, it will collapse all the data like this, right? So again, by using this particular property, this will help you control the display of lengthy field data, either in the rich text or in the multi-line field, and only this will work only if the content exceeds more than 250 characters, right? So this is one another enhancement that we have brought in into the report feature, right? So apart from this, talking about the key pointers, so it is supported in the quick view and in the detail view for the list and spreadsheet report, and also it is available only in the detail view for other report types. So if you have created the list and spreadsheet, it will be applicable to view both in the quick view and the detail view. Whereas if you are using any other reports like Kanban, or if you're using any timeline reports, that case you can just view the data only in the, you can view this particular feature only in the detail view, right? And then fold content is not applicable for record templates in the detail view, custom and card layouts in the quick view, right? So this is something that you need to keep in mind when you are enabling the fold content property. Now that I have showed you within the list report, this is also applicable in the spreadsheet report. So when I change the report view as spreadsheet, this will be enabled. So when I click on the show more, I'll get to see all the content, right? And apart from this, when you change it to any other report type, if you're changing to any other report type, on detail view, you will get to see this particular option, show more and show less option. So this is another enhancement that I would like to show. And moving to the next topic, we have the enhanced page charts. So here we have made few enhancement to charts element in the page component. So I hope many of you know the page component, right? So within the page component, you can go ahead and create a complete dashboard where you can display all your application data, right? And one of the element in page component is charts. So in charts we have multiple different varieties of charts, right? So within the charts we have brought in few updates like date grouping, set interval, and along with that we also have the enabled data label, drill down, filters. So these are the few of the enhancements that we have brought in inside the chart element, right? So now I'll take you to the live demonstration. And before we go to the live demonstration, we have one another enhancement within the page component, which is app theme colors in page. Which is nothing but whatever the theme color that you have chosen to your application, the same colors can be applied to any of your page elements, right? So that is something we will be looking in we will be looking into this particular topic, right? So for this I'll go to the live demo and I'll quickly show you how you can enable these different updates within your application, right? So for this I'll just go to the edit mode and I'll create a blank page. I'll name it as page. Yes, and I'll create this page. So once I create a new page, I'll be landing into the page builder where I'll get to see all different elements that are supported within the page components, right? So within this, we are going to understand the enhancements for the charts. So I'll go to the charts and you could see there are different charts, different types of chart: funnel chart, pie chart, web chart, even the area chart, scatter chart, and like this we have the bar chart and the column chart. So whatever the enhancement that I'm going to show over here, you can make use of those enhancement to any of these charts, right? So right now I'll just choose this column chart. I'll drag and drop them, and once I drag and drop the respective chart, it will ask me to select the form, right? So I'll select the order form. I'll select the order form. So before that, I'll show you the orders form. Yeah. So this is my order form where I have customer name, order date, status, and then we have the total amount, shipping address, payment status, tracking number, and even the product details information, right? So now I've just chosen the order form here, and in the x-axis, I'm going to choose the category as. So here you will be choosing the field based on which field that you would like to display the data, right? So here I'm going to choose the order date. And the first enhancement that we are going to explore is the date grouping, right? So this date grouping is nothing but it will group your data based on the date values, right? So here under group date values, I'm going to choose either you can go with actual, month and year, quarter and year, and only the year, right? So here I'll choose the month and year, and if you want to give any label name to your x-axis, you can provide them over here, right? And in the y-axis, in the aggregate values, I'm going to choose the total amount sum. So here I'll choose the total amount as the sum, and once you have configured, you can just click on the done. And if I just go to the live mode, the dashboard, I go to the page enhancement, I'll get to see the data are grouped based on the date values, right? So in our x-axis, you could see the data, the values are in the date format, and in the y-axis we have the total amounts, right? So on clicking here, you could see it is showing in a pop-up, it is showing the total amount along with the date, along with the month and the year, and the total amount price, right? So this is something how you can group your data whenever it is required to whenever it is required to group your data based on the date fields. You can make use of the you can make use of this group date values feature, right? Now, apart from the date grouping, we also have another feature which is set interval. So intervals are nothing but in the y-axis. Here is the total amount, right? So you can go ahead and set the interval type based on your requirement, right? So that is possible under the interval, and that is something that you can do it within your y axis. So here if I just give, so right now it is in the thousands, right? So whenever if you want to change the interval to 500, or whenever you want to change it to 150 or 200, so based on your requirement you can provide the interval, right? So for example, let's say I'm just providing 500, and I'll give done. If I reload, my interval will get changed, right? So it's getting loaded. Yeah. So right now you could see the interval got changed, and whatever the interval that I have, that I have entered over here, that based on the interval, it will change, right? And so this is something that you can achieve within your y axis. So that is one enhancement that we have brought in, which is the set interval. And apart from this, we also have another enhancement, which is the enable data label. So for this, the enable data label is nothing but you can go ahead and you can in your you can just go ahead and show the y-axis metrics permanently for each section displayed by a chart. So these are the each sections, right? So this is something that we have displayed as in a chart format. So on to this top you will get to see a data label, right? So that is something you can define. So over here under in the properties you could see chart controls, right? Into this chart control you have this data label. So you can just enable this. By just enabling it, you can just give done. So the changes will get saved, and on refreshing this application the data label will be added to every section that you have within the bar chart, right? So right now you can see on top you have the amount that is displaying, which is the value or the data. It is displayed as a 30,000, 20,000. Since we have chosen the since we have chosen the total amount as the value to be displayed, so it is showing the total amount as a data label, right? So this is one another feature that comes under the chart controls. And apart from this, you also have the theme color. I mean, before moving on to the theme color, let me also explain you the other two features, which is filtered data based on and underlying data. So let us understand what is underlying data. So underlying data is nothing but over here, if you could see, when I click on this particular section, it just show me a pop-up with the total amount and the date, right? Whereas on clicking off this particular section, if I would like to view a detailed view, or if I would like to view the respective report, on that case I'll be enabling the underlying data, right? So if you just enable this underlying data, it will show what report will be visible, which is the all orders report. Since we have chosen the orders form, it will show the all orders report. Now again I'll give done, and over here when I click on, I'll refresh. When I click on this particular section, it will show me the report, right? So let me give done, and I'll reload. So when I click on, I'll just enable it again, and I'll give done. Now I'll reload this page. So when I click on the section, it will display me the report. And that too you could see whatever, I mean, since the date that you, I mean, you have just grouped the value based on the date, right? So based on this date value, it will show the values in your report, right? So for the April, you have two different data, so the two different datas are displaying within the report in the detail view. And again, if you just choose the May section, by clicking on this, you will get to see the detail view for the May values alone, right? So like this, you can go ahead and whenever it is required for you to view the data within this bar chart, you can, by just enabling the underlying data, you can view the detail view of the data, right? So this is one another enhancement. And apart from this, we have also brought in the filter data based on. So this is, all these controls can be achieved only by the admins, and again the admin can go ahead and set the filter. So the filters can be based on the status field that you have within your form. So right now I have two different status field, one is payment status and the other one is status. So when I choose the let me choose the status here, and I'll choose done. If I go here, a filter option will be provided over here, right? So this option, so at the back end, it needs to be set up by the admin, and when the users are using, they will be able to access this particular filter, right? So when I just click on the filter, I can just search for a specific data, or over here in the status, I can choose the respective status and I can apply them. So only that particular data will be displayed over here, right? So this is again, you can this is again which can be enabled only by the admin, and it can be used by the different users, right? So this is another enhancement. Now apart from these enhancements, talking about the app theme color. So right now our app theme color in this, I mean, it is in this particular theme color, right? When I want to have my page elements with the same color, I can go to again I can go here. So let's say that I'm applying the app theme color to the bar chart, right? So I can just click on this color. So over here, you could see a separate option. Apart from the color palettes, I'll get to see a separate option as theme color, right? So you can just choose this theme color, and that particular theme color will be applied to your chart like this, right? So in order to view this in the live mode, I'll just refresh. Choose, I'll give done. I'll reload. So you could see the applications theme color over here. So by just applying the applications theme color, you're ensuring the visual consistency and the cohesive brand experience across your application, right? So to view any dashboard within the same applications color, it will be visually appealing, and as well as you can provide the brand experience across the application, right? So this is about the different enhancements that we have brought in inside the page component, right? So moving to the next part, we have the app menu builder, right? So the app menu builder is something that you would have already used, right? So here, where, I mean, in the app menu, you can visually and logically group your forms, reports, pages for any easy navigations. So based on your requirement, you can go ahead and group your different forms and reports together, right? So for that, you will be going to the app menu, and within this app menu, we have brought in different customizations, like you can rename, you can add icons, and even you can organize the components with the simple drag and drop interface, right? So I'll also quickly show you this in the live demo. So for this, I'll go to the application. So for now, I'll just remove theme color, and when I go to the edit mode, I'll be able to see the two different options. One is themes and one is the app menu builder, right? So here is where you'll be grouping all of your app menus together based on your requirement. So within this app menu builder, we have two different features. One is components, where whatever the component that you have used to your application, that will be listed over here. The components are nothing but the forms, reports, pages, all that will be listed here. And apart from this, we have something called elements. So these are all the different customizations that you can achieve within the app menu that you have already created over here, right? So and also, apart from the elements, we also have something called add new space. So we have something called space. So the space is nothing but the space will help you to organize various components and elements within your application, right? Where you can go ahead and create multiple spaces, and that can be viewed in the live mode. And based on your app preference, you can group them, and you can add them to a completely new space, and then in the live mode you can go ahead and access them, right? So let me quickly show you all these elements along with the new space. So first, let me try to create a new space. So I'll just click on the add new space, and over here, let's say I'm just adding my dashboard to this particular space. It's getting loaded. So when you just create a space in the live mode, when a user selects the specific applications menu space, only the components that you have arranged within that space will be displayed, right? So let me reload this once. Just add the new space. And just give the name space as dashboard, and I'll just drag and drop them over here, right? So like this is one space that I've created. So this is space one, this is space two. In case if I want another space, I can click on this add icon where a new space will be created. So for example, let's say I'm moving this order to another space. So I'll just rename this as order details, right? So right now we have three different spaces, and within each spaces we have different menus or the different components, right? Now within these menus or within these components, if you want to perform, or if you want to if you want to implement any of these elements, by just simply dragging and dropping the element, you can just go ahead and once you drag and drop them, you can go to the live mode and you can see the difference of adding the elements, right? So now what I'll do, I'll just try to add the break element. So the break element is nothing but once you insert this break element, it will it will insert a invisible space to separate two different components or the elements within a space or a section, right? So what I'll do, I'll just add them over here. So right now you could see a empty space is created between these two sections, right? And again, if you want to create if you want to use this line, so again this line will help you to create a visible line between the components within your space or within the section. So I can just drag and drop them over here. So a visible line will be created between these two sections, right? So now that we have created the space and the lines and the different spaces, I'll show you how this will be accessed or how this will be visible in the live environment. I'll quickly reload. And over here, if you could see, this is the space. Dashboard is the space, and within the dashboard I have my order management as a separate space. So within my order management, these are the modules that I have. So order management, this is the order management space, and within my order management I have order items, order date management, order status, and rest are the app preference and the approvals, right? So when I go to the order management space, I'll be able to see the order items, and between the order items and the order date management, I'm able to see a space that is created, right? And between the order date management and the order status, I can able to see a visible line that is created, right? So this is how the elements will be. This is how you can use the elements to separate any spaces, or if you want to if you want to display a particular module as a separately, you can use the break, or you can even use the visible lines, right? And apart from this, we also have the rest of the spaces created, which is dashboard space, and as well as we have the order details. So whatever components that you have added into that particular space, that will, only that will be listed over here, right? So now this particular app menu builder, this particular app menu that we have configured to the vertical applications theme, right? But what if I choose any other application theme? So for example, let's say I'll go to the themes, and I'll choose the horizontal application theme. And if I go to the live mode, I'll get to see three different spaces: order management, and under the order management I'll have order items, order date management, and the order statuses. And for in the dashboard, I'll see only the different dashboards I have. And in the order details, I will have only one particular module, which is orders module, right? So like this, based on your application theme, the spaces will align themselves, right? So this is all about the app menu builder, and again, this is a new enhancement that we have brought in within the Creator platform, right? So now talking about the key pointers for the app menu builder. So component can exist in only one space at a time. So any component, right? So the components are nothing but over here. So these are all referred as a different components. So if you are adding this particular component to the dashboard space, that will be available only in that particular space and not in the order management space, right? So basically it will visible only in one space at a time, and empty spaces or sections won't be available in the application. So if you have created any empty spaces, or if you have created any empty sections, which means let's say I'm just creating a new section, right? So this is an empty section, right? So this empty section will not be visible inside your application when you access them in the live mode, right? And then app menu stays in sync across devices until mobile or tablet menu is customized, which means you will be configuring, or you'll be customizing this particular a menu with in your web application, right? Whereas that particular customization will be synced across all the different mobiles, all the different devices like mobiles and the tablets, until you go ahead and customize specifically for the mobile and the tablet, right? So until then you will get to see these customizations within your mobile and the tablet device, right? And element visibility depends on the chosen theme. So whatever the application theme that you have chosen, based on that the element visibility will be appeared in the live mode. And system components appear only after admin or developer setup. So the system components are nothing but So the components which allows the any of the users to modify the user specific application configurations, such as the language selections, connections, approvals, reports, all those that needs to be configured only by the admin or the developer. Once it is set up, that can be shown under the system components. And also please ensure that your mobile application is updated to access the app menu feature. So if so when you're trying to use this app menu feature in your mobile application, make sure that your application is up to, I mean, you have updated your mobile application, right? So these are all few key pointers that I would like to talk about, I mean, talk for the app menu builder. Now moving to the next topic, which is custom API enhancement. So, in the custom API enhancement, we have introduced several improvements, which is expanded user scope, environment support, portal user access. So these are three different enhancements that we have brought in within the custom API. And before that, I hope many of you know what is custom API, right? So the custom API is nothing but whenever like let's say whenever the developers would like to create or enable or I mean enable or create their own APIs, and they can define the functionality they want to expose to external system application and or services from their services, right? So basically when a developer would like to create their own custom API, they can go ahead and use this custom API feature within the platform, right? So now let's explore these enhancements that we have brought in for the custom API. So I'll go to the platform again. Let's close this. I'll go to the home page now. So the first feature that we are going to look now is expanded user scope. So we have brought in two new options within the custom API under the user scope. So in order to access the custom API, you need to go to the microservices, and within the microservices, you will have the custom API. So this is the custom API. You can choose them, and these are all the three different APIs that I have created so far. So I'll just click on the create new. I'll create a new custom API, and I'll say records. And so here you will be giving the display name along with the link name that will be created. And if you want any description, you can give them over here. And when on clicking of the next, it will take you to the request page. So here is where you will be defining the user scope. So before that, you need to choose the method, whether it is going to be the get method, post method, put or delete. So I'll choose the get method. And in the authentication, you will have two different authentication. One is OAuth and another one is public key. So when I choose the OAuth, under the OAuth, I'll be defining my user scope, right? So so here is where you will be choosing which you I mean who I mean here's where you will be this can be accessed by the super admin or the admin, and here is where you will define the level of access control that you are granting to the users by using this user scope. So basically you can allow specific user to access the endpoint URL and invoke the API. So the access, the user, you can either choose to give access to the admin only, or the selective users, or all users, or the portal users. So before, if you have noticed, we had only these two options, which is admin only and the selective users. Now we have brought in these two new options, which is all users and the portal users, right? So so here you can choose the respective users, whether it can be the all users or it can be the portal users. So this is one enhancement. And apart from this, we have another enhancement, which is the environment support. So previously, when you push a particular application to the environment, the custom API is not supported. Like you cannot go ahead and test the custom API to the environment pushed application. So now we have made the enhancement, so where you can, even if you push the application to the environments, you can still go ahead and test your custom APIs, right? So I'll quickly show you that. So this particular application, which is the employee onboarding, is already pushed to the environment. So if I go to the environment, I'll able to see the application over here. I can access them in the development mode and as well as in the stage mode, right? So now again, if I go to the microservice, so, and also within the application, I already have created a custom API, which I have called in the function. I'll also show you that. So currently I am into the stage environment. Now, if I go to the edit mode, within my workflow, I have created the function, and within the function, I have used my custom API, right? So by having this custom API, I push the application to the environment, right? And over the, when I go to the custom API and when I click on the create new, so over here again, let's say it's the fetch records, and I'll give next. In the request, I'm going to choose the get method, user scope. It can be all users or the portal users. For now, I'll just go with all users and I'll click on next. And in the response, you'll be choosing whether it is the standard or the custom. I'll just go with standard for now. And in the actions, so here is where you will be specifying the details of the function to be executed when the custom API is invoked. So you will be choosing the application. So when I click on the application, I'll get to see the employee onboarding application is both in the development and in the stage environment, right? So whenever, if there is any application that you have pushed to the environment, so based on whichever environment, it will show the status over here, the development and the stage. So by here you can understand that the application is in the environment. So it will also ask you to confirm to proceed. So you can just click on the proceed, and here whatever the namespace that you have created, I'll just go with employee onboarding stage mode, and whatever this namespace that you have created within your function, that will be shown here default. And the function, so you can see that this is the custom API function that you have created, right? So that will be automatically chosen, and here you can click on the next and it will take you to the summary, right? So like this, before it was not possible for you to go ahead and create or test the custom API for the environment specific application. But right now you can go ahead, and even if your application is pushed to any of the environment, still you can go ahead and test your custom APIs. So this is another enhancement. And apart from this, there is another enhancement, which is the portal user access. So where the portal where the if you have chosen the if the portal user is selected as in the user scope, the custom API can be invoked only from within the widget, right? So which is nothing but, if I go back here, and here if I choose the portal user, only the custom API will can be invoked only from within the widget, right? And also when I choose the all users, and if I go to the actions, I'll get to see all of the applications, right? Whereas if I go and choose the portal users, And if I click next, and in the actions, to whichever application that I've created the portals, only that application will be listed over here. Right? So these are few of the enhancements that we have brought in inside the custom API. Right? So that's about the custom API enhancement. Now moving to the next part, we have the workflows for integration form. So as I mentioned previously, previously we do not support any workflow automations within the integration forms. So the integration forms are nothing but you will be integrating a specific module from any third-party service or within any Zoho services, right? So that is something we call it as the integration form. Now, within the integration form, in case if you want to perform any automation, any sort of automations, we have brought in this workflow automations with limited triggers option, right? So I'll quickly show you that. I'll go to the application. So this is an application that I've created where I've just integrated the contacts module from CRM. So inside CRM, we have a separate contacts module, right? So only this particular module I have integrated with my creator platform, right? So in order to integrate that, first you need to create the connection and then you'll be choosing the respective data source, right? So I've chosen the data source as the contacts module from CRM. Now within this module, I have performed a workflow. So I'll quickly show you that. If I go to the edit mode, the workflows, you could see I've just performed the auto populate automation, which will which I'll go to the live mode now and I'll show what exactly happens. So let me take a email from this CRM. So let's say I'm just taking this selina@zilker.com. So whenever I enter the email address, the rest of the data, whatever the data associated with this email address will be auto-populate. As of now, I'm just auto-populating the first name and the last name, right? So this is one automation that I have executed with the help of form workflow. So you could see here, I have used the inbuilt integration task and I have just mentioned the module, and then here I have used the for each statement where I'm just getting the first name, last name and the email, right? So like this you can perform, you can go ahead and use limited triggers within the integration form. So this is one such example that I would like to show, and this example is for the trigger. Here we have used the user input of a field trigger, right? So apart from this, you can also go ahead and use the field rules, load of the form and the validation on form submission. So currently 4 triggers are supported for the integration form workflows. And talking about the other key pointer, which is lookup field in an integration form are not supported in the workflows. So when you're trying to perform any automations with the help of lookup field, that is currently not supported within the integration form, right? So I hope I have covered all of the different enhancements that we have brought in inside the Zoho Creator features. So apart from this, I would also like to talk about our another session which is going to happen tomorrow. So that's going to be our session 2, where we will be discussing about the new release feature updates. And specifically, we are going to focus on the AI, security, and the smart integration features, right? So if you guys are interested to learn and explore more about the new release features, you can just again scan this QR code and you can register for the session. The session is going to happen around the same time, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. IST. So if you guys are interested, you can just continue. You can just go ahead and uh, attend the session 2, which is going to happen tomorrow. Also, the session registration link will be shared in the chat tab by my co-trainer. Please access the link and register for the session, right? And also I would like to talk about our upcoming live sessions. So we have another webinar planned for May month, which is learning table series. So this time we are focusing on the property management application, right? So if you are someone who would like to explore creator based on any business specific use cases, then this particular session is for you guys. So this in this session we will be exploring different business use cases where we will be demonstrating an application based on a specific use case, right? So this is going to happen on May 8th around 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. IST. So if you guys are interested, you can just go ahead and scan this QR code, or the registration link will be sent in the chat tab by my co-trainer. You can access the link and you can register for the session, right? And also if you guys would like to go ahead and rewatch our previous session for the learning table series and the creator tech connect, again you can enter this URL, or you can scan this QR code. You can just register and access the course, where you will get to see all the previous sessions recordings into the course, into this particular course, right? So you can access both the learning table series and even the creator tech connect. So as you guys know, in the learning table series, we would have taken a particular industry specific use case and we would have demonstrated the application. Whereas in the Creator Tech Connect, we would have explored the different technical concepts in the creator. Right. So you can access you can scan this QR code and you can go ahead and access the course. Also, the link will be provided in the chat tab. You can access from there. And talking about the another part, which is we have our dedicated online training for creator. So currently we are offering a $100 discount. So if you guys are interested in interested in getting certified in Zoho Creator platform, you can again go and register for our online training. So we have two different trainings, stage 1 and stage 2. So in stage 1 we will be covering the basic concepts of creator. In stage 2 we'll be covering the advanced concepts in creator, right? So this $100 discount is a limited period campaign that we are running currently. So if you guys are interested, you can use this promo code, or even you can you can go ahead and access this URL and you can enter this promo code. You can register for the online training, right? So that's about the online training for creator. And apart from this, if you have any queries related to the training and the webinars, you can reach out to training@zohocreator.com. And for any platform, if you need any support in the platform, you can reach out to support@zohocreator.com, right? So I once again thank you each and every one of you to actively participating in all of our webinar. So we wish to see you all in our tomorrow's session as well. So please do join, and let's explore the new release feature together, right? So I once again thank you each and every one of you for participating in today's webinar. So we will meet you all in our tomorrow's session. Until then, it's bye from us. Thank you. Have a great day.